Hello and welcome everyone. This is Yanuman bringing you another Fleet Ops audio commentary. Today we have a 1v1 starting off at the top as the yellow Romulans. This is Drrrr, and his opponent for today as the green Borg in the bottom. This is Stardust. Now the map that they are playing on is Duel. It's a 12k by 12k two-player map. Has provided to be quite popular among the multiplayer Fleet Ops community. As you can see, both of them are basically just doing a little bit of scouting. You can see that Drrrr's scout is heading directly towards the Borg base, and however, Stardust's scout is kind of meandering about a little bit odd, not expected. But as we can see, that Drrrr is heading straight into an offensive build, as he's built his star yard first, and he is putting up his first mining colony. And you can see in here that he is going lots of scouts, and this is going to pay off later, as he's going to have a very good understanding of what's going on the board pretty much at all times, very much using the Romulan's cloak technology to his advantage. Now we should see this is a Talshiar Academy, so we are going to be expecting frigate refits most likely. Now, the Borg are doing their normal setup. There's really not much else that the Borg can do in the first 5 minutes. You're going to set up your conduction matrix, you're going to start your mining, and that's exactly what Stardust is doing here. Now, also, as a Borg player, you're going to immediately research your energy nodes level 1, and that'll bump up the rate at which you accrue collective connections. So that's going to play into how fast the Borg can produce ships. So we can see here that Stardust is still producing his last resource assimilator. A lot of Borgs tend to go for the Tritanium moon first, as it seems to be a little bit of a limiting factor in your first couple of ships and buildings. Now we can see that Drrrr has placed a scout over in what would be Stardust's natural expansion, or at least the most likely one, as the distance between it is somewhat closer to Stardust. Now, we can see here that Stardust was harassing with his detector. This is a good strategy for Borg to do, because their detector scout is such a is a strong offensive ship, and it can actually pick off these ships. But what we saw there was that Drrrr was countering that by just transporting the Borg. Since they have no shields, immediately can be boarded, and there's only 80 crew here, and so that can actually be easily taken over by a starbase or any sort of structure. You can see that the scout was tailing Stardust, but that is, as it went through this nebula here, it decloaked it and ends up getting itself into a little bit of trouble here. This is not too much of a problem for the scout, as he's lost his engines, and actually a very fortuitous place, because he can actually keep an eye on this natural expansion. So at the same time, we can see that Stardust has lost no time in immediately expanding over here into this place. So while this is, one might consider this the natural expansion for the bottom team here, it does not necessarily mean that this is inaccessible. We can see that Stardust is going back in, getting a look at what is being produced, and he is going to know that generic refits are out or being produced. And he is going to have a view that this constructor here is going to make a move to the middle. Now, Drrrr is playing a little bit of a gamble here. He's bringing his constructor ship. If this ends up being a turret, this is a nice way of just sort of taking claim to the middle of the map, and should give him a little bit of a strategic advantage over Stardust. So Stardust producing his first scout cube, and we should see if this is going to move to the middle to try to retake the middle, or if it's nothing else, it's just going to sort of give this expansion some backup. But we can see here that on the minimap and right here that Drrrr is aware of this expansion, so we'll see how long he waits before he actually if he leaves it there or if he is going to try to take it out. The thing going in Stardust's favor here is that Borg ships are quite sturdy. They do take a considerable amount of power to take down. So here we see that Stardust thinking that he's going to end up being able to take out this constructor before it's going to finish this disruptor turret. Not going to happen. This is a regen sphere. Doesn't have a lot of offensive power relative to some of the other configurations. Nonetheless, it does have staying power, and it can actually back out of a fight and regen within a reasonable amount of time. At this point in time, you can see this guy is taking a lot of damage. He really needs to back out. It's down under 50%. It's not going to be able to take out this constructor, and he finally is moving it away. A little bit of a risky move. It actually is a faster, as this is a short-range vessel, it is faster than these medium-range generics frigates. So he is going to be able to get out of there. He's got a probe providing a little bit of extra backup support, and he's also got another scout cube coming out. So this cube heavily damaged. We can see that it is very slowly, about a point per second, a percentage per second. That is going to keep this cube out of business for a little while. That's the one thing about the Borg scout cubes, are that when they engage, if they take any sort of damage, they really do have to watch out and need to get out of battle, and then they're going to end up staying out of battle for a quite long time. So this pair of generic frigate refits and being reinforced with the third are looking to pressure this little bit of titanium expansion, and they are going to have probably sufficient numbers in order to do that. You can see that this scout cube is back up to right around 50%, but that is going to be no match for 3 of these guys. So here we have this resource assimilator getting pressured. At this point in time, it looks like Stardust is going to basically just ignore the trouble that his resource assimilator is in. It's actually going to move it into this nebula, which is a really good move. The nebula is going to hide it and make it very, very hard to target, and these cubes are going to end up taking out that constructor. So a little bit of a win there. You got one of his scout cubes is down to 50%. We're going to see if he is going to, he's spreading his fire out just a little bit much more than I would expected him to do. His probe is down to like 10%. This guy needs to get out of there. The resource assimilator that was getting pressure there earlier is taking a break in the nebula. It's going to be able to hang out there and basically is going to run into this scout cube. But see, the thing about these is that you have no sensor, and so things like this, they can pass you and you don't even see them. Nonetheless, Stardust is going to be able to see that, and the scout cube is going to be able to make its run around, get out of, not run into this trap of these 3 generic refits. Some good micro, some good heads-up play by Stardust. He's going to end up losing his probe, and that's going to hurt a bit. Nonetheless, but taking as few losses as possible. Now,